Help support the companies that support our community. So I turned this piece about 5 years ago at a show. I just did the outside of it and started to hollow it out. It's just a beautiful piece of walnut, and so I've been cleaning up, doing a little spring cleaning around the shop here, and found it, and so I'm going to go ahead and finish it. So we'll get it all hollowed out and then get that foot taken off. So I need to clean up right around the lip there, so I'm going to start with the number 2 hollower and start working my way down. It's only hollowed out in there maybe an 1.5 inches or so. So I was just kind of doing it at the show and talking to people and didn't get much of the inside cleaned out. So with the number 2 and 3 hollower, you bring the tool rest back a little bit so it sits on that wider part on the back side of or around the curve there. So it's supported by that. So I'm just getting the shavings out as I go. I do this a couple of times, and then you'll see here in a second I get the little air blower in there to clean them out as I get deeper down in there. So I'm just working my way down, and I grab the calipers here in a little bit to start testing the sides of it after I get it down there just a little bit. Really, you can kind of feel at this point with your fingers on as far as wall thickness, but once you get down in there, you can't. And because this is walnut and Robin is allergic to it, she's not in the shop with me. The camera is on the tripod, so every time I turn the lathe off or grab that hose, it shakes a little bit. Sorry about that. And I know as far as hollowing goes, there's not a whole lot to see, so it's kind of, I sped this up to about 500 times just to kind of go through it because there's not a whole lot to see. So I have a couple different hollowing systems. So I have a Lyle Jameson system for doing like deep hollowing, and then I have a Tim Yoder one for smaller stuff. But this one it's the number 1 hollower. I'll switch to that here pretty quick, but I can get down to the whole bottom of this with this one, with the number 1 hollower, without having to set up one of the other systems. But when you get down in there, past maybe 6 inches or so, then you need some more stability. So I'm about to switch over and grab the little air hose. It's a nozzle, a flexible nozzle, and you might have seen on the side of my lathe it looks like a foot pedal. It actually is a foot pedal. I just stuck it on the side of the lathe so I could just hit it with my hand, but it works really well. So you can just take that little nozzle, put it wherever you want to, and hit that foot pedal and blow all the shavings out. So, and I still have the dust collector going, so if you just kind of cup your hand around it, it'll blow 90% of it right down the dust collector tube. Once I got it all cleaned out, went ahead and started sanding it, and so I just sanded the whole piece so there wasn't a lot of walnut dust floating around in the shop with walnut oil. And so I just ran through all the grits, went from 180 up to 600 and did the whole outside of it. I was hoping that little spot on it with the sapwood would pop a little bit more, but it kind of blended in. you can see in the reflection there, I had to pull the sandpaper out of my hand and had to run around to the other side of the lathe. It happens a couple of times. And so this is my sanding process with a lot of things. I sand the grit, wipe it off with the paper towel, and then start over with the next grit and just keep working my way up. Once I got it all done, we'll get it taken off the lathe. So I need to make a little jam chuck here so that I can slide that into the hole and start working on the foot. So with this, I just kind of brought down a little tenon. I'm going to use some of that non-skid pad stuff to grab a hold of it. And then we'll start working on the foot. So I'm going to use a little bit of the foot as part of the piece. So I'm just using the spindle gouge and just bringing a nice curve around from the side down into that foot. Once I got the shape down, I used the #1 hauler to cup it out a little bit. So on the bottom I did the first grit dry on this just to kind of get it all cleaned up a little bit, and then I switched over and the same process with this. I ran through all of the rest of the grits with the walnut oil and just kept working my way back up the piece, so that finished up with the 400 and 600. I was doing the entire piece as well as the bottom there. There we go, I got it all done. So it's 6 inches in diameter and 5 inches tall. So like I was saying in the video, it's at least 5 years ago. It was at a show somewhere. I remember turning it, but it was just got busy talking and never finished it. And I've been doing spring cleaning, trying to get the shop cleaned up and get it more organized, and I found this. I figured it'd be a good time to finish it. And so that sapwood there, I was really hoping that that would be a little bit lighter, but I think the walnut oil made it kind of richened it up a little bit, but it has some great, beautiful grain in it. Just a nice piece of walnut. Yeah. All right, yeah, so when I'm turning stuff like this, Robin can't be out here, so I basically just kind of close up the shop, turn the walnut, and then I just run and take a shower afterwards. Hope you enjoyed the video. All right, everybody take care, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.